The Unwanted Undead Adventurer was really good. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. But that one, and then also this one was a little more known, but still, I think it flew under the radar more than it should have.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boys. It is I, Beautiful Crow, and my co-host, Vic Seal, and we are back with the DNAnime podcast. Woo! I don't know why I started making SpongeBob noises.
It's the end of 2024. We survived another year. One more. One more
this
year.
Economy, how did we survive this year?
This year has been insane for anime. Everybody, it has been the best and the worst of anime has come out this year. It has been absolutely wild, start to finish. And today we're going to talk all about all of it. Well, whatever comes up to our brains, but
yeah, most of
all of it. I got like
y'all.
60-something anime that I watched this year. So not all of it.
That's the good thing about you having that list. I don't have a list. I got a Word document.
Oh, yeah. No, I am big dumb, so I can't keep track of all the anime that I watch. So I use Anime Planet to keep track of my list. A lot of people use my anime list, and I don't really like their UI a lot. I like that they have UI a lot of like news and stuff that goes through their website, but I don't know, the UI for Anime Planet just feels better, except for on mobile. For some reason, it is like when it is in portrait mode, the button to increase it by one episode is like halfway off the screen.
Oh, I hate
it's like
that.
it doesn't register as being off the screen, so I can't like scroll over to it. So I just have to like tap on the side. It's mildly annoying, but it's not too bad. Usually I just click on the number because if I fall behind, then instead of just clicking one at a time, I'll just click on the number and then just go down to the episode that I'm on. But
yeah,
we'll be going over all of our favorites and our least favorites. I actually dropped a couple this year, and normally it takes a lot for me to drop. Like, I don't drop stuff because I very easily hit that point where it's like, well, I'm already invested, might as well.
I was about to say, you finished Osan. I dropped that
actually,
like
Osan was, like I said, the whole time, Osan was the most okayest anime that I've ever seen, and it firmly stuck its spot in the most okayest. So, but there are other ones that did not make it that long. There was one that I dropped this season after one episode. I was like, I watched it. I usually give it the 3-episode rule, which is almost bad because I am then at that point like, oh, I'm already invested. But I couldn't even tell you what was wrong with it. The banished former hero lives as he pleases. It's
probably the name.
Well, there are several other ones that I watched this year that have a similar name, but watching the first episode, something just felt really wrong. Like the animation was like okay, it wasn't spectacular, but it wasn't bad. And it wasn't like super unique in any aspect, but it also wasn't like, looking at it wasn't terrible in any aspect, but I was really uncomfortable watching it. I have no idea.
Uncomfortable why?
I have no idea. Just every episode, it just felt like, have you ever had that feeling where you just feel like something is in a different spot, but you don't know what it is? You ever have that feeling?
Like just in life?
Yeah, just like when you're walking around, you're like, something's not the same right now. It felt
like
that.
Weird
it felt like I was watching something. Yeah, it felt like I was watching something that I was familiar with, but it was just like,
it's just off
the mark. And I was like, I could not tell you. And I was talking to Nova about it because he was telling me that it was bad. And I was watching it anyway because I was like, the synopsis sounded fine. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a look. And I took a look at it, and I was like, I watched the first episode, and I could immediately tell that I wasn't going to like it, but I couldn't tell you why. And I was talking to him about it, and I still was like, the whole time I was like, I cannot figure out why I don't like this. It's so standard that but it was so standard that I can't imagine that it didn't land in the same spot that Osan did, where it just like checked all the boxes. Like it just went through, it just went down a list, but it was like they missed one somewhere, and I don't know what it was. And thinking back on it, I still don't know what it was. I just know that I didn't like it. So if you're out there and you watched it and you liked it, hey man, good on you. I don't know what it was that I didn't like. I literally cannot tell you. It is like the most strangest feeling I've had watching anime ever, because it's like I just in my heart of hearts knew that it was like sucking, and I'm just like, why though? I think I got halfway through the second episode and I was like, nah, I don't care. But there's other ones that were like, they were a little bit more obvious. There's Delico's Nursery, which I started late. I got 4 episodes in and was like, this is babysitting Dracula. This is like,
yeah, I was about to ask. That's the vampire babysitting anime that we were talking about
like,
earlier this year.
The idea was like potentially good, and maybe it got better after 4 episodes, but dude, 3 episodes in, everybody is an idiot or a dick, and it was like the kids were just like normal real life kids, and they would just run around kicking and screaming, except for one who was just like really reserved. I'm like, this is all normal children stuff, so they're not unique. Then the adults, I don't know if they're vampires or not. I went 4 episodes in and I was like, are you the vampires? And then they're like, vampires are the bad guys, and I'm like, I thought that was you. And then they're like, we're the vampire hunting team, and I was like, so you are vampires? And he's like, only vampires have the ability to do this. So I'm like, so you're not vampires.
How do you, in 4 episodes in, you couldn't figure it out?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what is happening. But it wasn't all bad. We had some absolute bangers. Like, we had Kaiju number 8 come out this year.
Woo!
Definitely the literal only downside to Kaiju number 8, definitely a grand slam for a new gen anime. The only downside was the characters looked a little flat.
Okay, so can I talk about that really quickly? Because Kaiju number 8 is on my list. Obviously, it's tribute to everybody's list for this year. Kaiju number 8 is fantastic. I love the manga. I'm up to date in the manga. I love the anime. The anime was amazing. But for some reason, the human designs, because they don't look like that in the manga.
Yeah,
like,
they look really detailed in the manga.
Yeah. Like, I can kind of understand like how they would get like the flatness of it, or whatever. Like if they didn't want it to be fully detailed, but really wanted to go out for the budget for the.
I don't even mind that much. Like if that was the biggest downside that we have, yeah, I'll take it.
That's not a distraction at all. You should go and watch Kaiju number 8. It is Kaiju number great. It is amazing. It is awesome. But the characters look weird. Like Kafka looks fine, but it's like in the manga, it's just like his features are more like rigid, and in the anime, he's like very round looking, like on his face. And he just looks goofy. Which is fine. Kafka's goofy. But then Kiriko, you know, like the main female character, whatever, with the blonde ponytails, she looks odd. Like, I don't like how she looks. Like, her eyes look too far apart. Like, she's a Persona
it looks like
character.
her eyes, like moved to the side or something, or like rotated a little bit.
Somebody have like a fisheye lens. You know
just
what I mean?
Like a little bit off.
Yeah. I'm just like, she just looks weird to me. But it's like, it's still fine. Even Reno or whatever, like, you know, the protege guy.
Everybody reaches an acceptable level. So.
Yeah, like they still look cool. The action's still great. The animation's great. And when Kafka's in full kaiju mode and the fights happening, in the action scenes,
sick.
Were awesome. So
They're
that's
like,
the biggest
hey man,
gripe.
don't bother shading the humans because we're just gonna go all out on the monsters. Because like everybody will forgive you for having a bland human, but if you have a bland monster, nobody's gonna forgive you. So they're like really dial it in, and they made it like real like dense and glowy and like solid. He was the Kafka's number 8 form was like amazing.
He looked awesome. Every punch had the impact that I wanted. Him blowing like other kaiju's out of the water was great. Like it was incredible.
Yeah, but that was for as good as it was, and everybody was hyped for it. It was like the 3rd, 4th best of the season.
Yeah.
We had absolute slam dunks. Frieren came out this year.
Frieren is amazing. I was late on Frieren.
Frieren has been on my manga list forever. But when the Shonen Jump app was only Viz Media, they had the title, but they didn't let you read it. You had to buy the whole volume. So I was like, all right, I'll wait for them to like add it to the app or something. So I never got to read it, and then when they announced it, I was like, all right, sick, I'll watch it. And I knew it was going to be good because it was a very unique concept in which it was following the elf after the adventure, and I was like, that's cool. I was like, I bet it's going to be like a slow burn, but I'm down, I'm here for it. And it was amazing. The characters are perfect. The story is next level. We're still learning things about like the way that they structured the background. We learned things about Himmel. They have a season 2 coming, by the way, that I just remembered. I don't remember when, but it's coming.
It's coming soon.
Coming soon in a theater near you. Oh, I wish I would watch Free Rent in theaters. I would rewatch the whole series. We'll do a 6-hour watch along in the big IMAX.
Just 6 hours of Fearing.
Yeah, dude, I would do it fine. Yeah. Just every 3 hour, 2 hours or something, just go back out, get some more snacks, some from the concessions. I'd stay.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, this is totally off topic, but so they did a like whole MCU like watch along in theaters. I wanted to do that. It was 36 hours of movies. Oof. And I was like, I want to do it just to do it. But then I was like hearing people talk about it like I didn't do it. I didn't eventually go. But some people who did, they were like, this shit sucked. It was like everybody stunk by the end of it. Like everybody just in there in the theater just stank, not moving, not doing anything. And I'm just like, oh no, that sounds like hell. But no, I watched Fearing. Oh, I guess okay. I want to get back to Fearing, but just because we were talking about like anime in theaters, something that is coming out soon will be the Chainsaw Man movie. The Rize arc will be in theaters. Chainsaw Man also came out this year as well, which I fucking love Chainsaw Man. Like I'm a huge Chainsaw Man fan. I love it so much.
I liked it for what it was. I just didn't get as into it as everybody else. Like I gave it like a solid 8.5, maybe a 9. Like it was good. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I looked it up, and everybody was telling me what I thought, what I was already thinking of, but I just couldn't shake the feeling where Denji sucks as the main character. Like from the anime, all I could think of was dude is just like fully motivated by like boobs, and I was like, okay, and at least high school DxD makes like a thing out of it. Like
you gotta understand, man. This dude life was terrible. He was in massive debt. He had to sell his nut and his liver. I understand why he's doing that. Like why that is the connection. And everyone's like, it's so much more deep than that. And they're like, you have to understand there's more depth to it. I'm like, I'm sure. What is it? Yeah, it's coming. Like the thing is, and I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure because I don't know, it just became a trend. Like make everything a movie, put it in theaters. I mean, it's been doing well ever since Demon Slayer. But the Rize arc, the next arc, I feel like is where it's gonna connect for you. Because this is the arc.
Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna watch it. Absolutely.
Yeah. I read the entire manga. That's why I'm probably more excited than you are. I really love Chainsaw Man.
Panel from the manga, and I want to know what that one panel was about. I don't know how far it is, and it was just Denji in chainsaw form sitting on top of a grave, and then just like a field of graves in the background. And I was like, yeah, what happened here?
Oh, so, you'll find out. I don't know how long that is.
I don't think I doubt the next season is going to reach it. Whatever it is.
This season, no, but the third season, potentially, yes.
So that, I mean,
but this next season has some good stuff.
That was a really epic looking panels. I was like,
Chainsaw Man is fucking sick, dude. Chainsaw Man is so sick. Oh, it's so good. I love Chainsaw Man. And I'm very excited for the Rize arc. But yes, Fearing, just gotta talk about it. I mean, I feel like we talked about, we popped our load too fast. Fearing is, like, would you consider Fearing the best anime this year?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's two that I would probably give like are my personal favorites that I might put above it, but like objectively speaking, it is really hard to put anything over what Free Rent has done. You can't even say that it like resonates because it's like it's such a unique experience, but it's such a nice breath of fresh air that it is impossible to give anything else like more than it.
Yeah.
It's like I can't even describe it. It's like it's just so good. The characters are so deep. There's so much to every individual character. Even the ones that don't stick around, even they also have like insane depth to them.
Dude, every character feels fully realized, even if they only have a short amount of screen time. Because I didn't expect when they went to the
and mage, every aspect that they did was like they took the anime trope and then like turned it on its head. Like when Frieren discovers the demons in the town and she just went full on, I'm gonna kill you right now.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Other anime was like, would do bullshit like, no, we can all get along, and then cut to a day later and she's in prison and it's them trying to kill everybody, and it's like, so, and then they gave a reason to why that is, and I was like, that's even cooler, because
dude,
the demons, they don't even like think for themselves, they just copy people, and I was like, that's so cool.
Dude, I love that. Again, Frieren's low tier god moment is the best.
Specifically on the scale of mana with Frieren versus Aura, that scene alone could give it game of the year. Like, it was so funny. When she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna win this easy peasy, and then Frieren was like, oh really, and then just like unleashed, and again, other anime would have had a cool fight scene. Frieren literally told her to kill herself. And she did it. I was like, that's crazy. That's insane that they actually did that.
Like, that scene is what got me into Frieren, because like I heard that it was good, but I'm a busy boy and I'm running around.
I saw it beforehand too. I swore it was. There was no doubt in my mind that it was like a fan voiceover or something.
Yeah, I thought it was a meme. I was like, oh, this is funny. Low tier guy, ha ha ha. And then I watched the scene and I was waiting. And then she says it just cold as ice.
Oh, it's so
good. And then
it
just happens. And I was just like, oh my God, I love this show so much.
Good.
And it takes a while to get there, but it's so good, dude. Frieren is amazing.
Frieren did win anime of the year. So, and there are some people that are mad about that.
I don't know why.
Like, how can you
over that?
The only way that they could possibly say that Frieren is not anime of the year is they haven't seen it.
Yep.
That's the only way. There's no way that you can ever change my mind that it's not. Like, I'm looking over my list, like, there's nothing that even comes close. Like other than my two personal favorites could probably, like, for me alone, maybe go over it just because it like resonates a little bit better. But even I know that Frieren, like, those are for me, and then Frieren is like everybody.
Yeah, because Frieren was amazing. Like, my whole thing was like, I was watching it, and I was just like, oh, you know, first 3 episodes, whatever. Yeah, the animation is gonna be like amazing or whatever. I'm expecting it to drop off at some point.
They went way too hard on like
quality.
Yeah, they went way hard at the very beginning. I could tell right off the bat when Stark was fighting the dragon and his fucking little jacket started flapping in the wind. I was like, oh, they're pulling out all the stops.
The fabric animation is crazy. Watching Stark put on his, like, anybody put on their coat was like art. Like, it looked so good. Like, the weight of the jacket and him putting his arms into the sleeves. Like,
oh, I love it when anime does that, where they like slide their arm in and it like flaps in the wind. Totally unrealistic, but I love it.
It's so sick. Like Frieren, everything just felt quality. The story, the characters, the growth in the characters, the relationship between Stark and, oh my God, blanking, purple hair girl. Fern, yes, Fern. Her name is so dumb. But yes, Fern and their relationship, them meeting people in their travels.
It's crazy that, like, the most surprising part is there is no, like, weirdly hyper character. In, like, every anime, there's always that one guy who just has an abundance of energy for no reason. Like, Stark does kind of like freak out a little bit, but only a little bit.
Like, he's not Zenitsu.
Yeah, everybody is just like calm, cool, collected, like, the whole time. And then, like, Stark gets scared and he like freaks out a little bit, and then
put weight.
But when he fucking locks in, though, when he locks in, then it's cool as hell.
And the thing is that I liked about Stark's character is that they put weight and meaning behind him being scared. Like, his master told him, like, it's okay to be scared. Like
Zenitsu is. Yeah. He's like, there's a reason why he's scared. So.
Yeah, because he's fighting terrifying shit. Yeah. But it's not about being scared. It's about overcoming your fear and doing what you need to do. Fear is good. That keeps you sharp. It keeps you taking care of yourself and the people around you. I love that about Stark's character, because it would have been an annoying Zenitsu trope, but instead it's used to make his character have more depth. Frieren is perfect, dude. It's a 10 out of 10 anime. If you haven't watched it, it's memes, it's cinema. Like, memes aside, it is fucking cinema. Watch Frieren. It's peak. It's so good, dude. So good.
Do you think there is a world where Frieren takes the #1 anime of all time over Full Metal Alchemist.
Over Full Metal?
Yeah.
Yes.
You think so?
I do. I think so.
I think it would.
I love Full
I think
Metal.
it has the potential to do so, but I think Full Metal is probably going to hold it, just because it touches on so many different aspects that are real. Like Full Metal goes through like classism and racism and various other types of like segregation
war,
and discrimination,
you know,
and whatever. And it touches on so many things that so many people would resonate with in real life.
Yep.
But Frieren
and it has
is
a perfect ending.
Such a high quality anime that even though every aspect of it is fantasy, it can still sit among the top. Like I would definitely put this in top 3 of all time. I can't remember the last time I saw an anime as good as Frieren.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, do I think Frieren has the potential to do it? Yes. Will it? I don't know. But I think it has a potential. I haven't read anything about the manga. Yeah, like it just depends on how they go. Because again, another thing that happened this year, this ain't really anime related, but there's been a lot of mangas ending recently. You know, we've gotten the ending of My Hero Academia. We got the ending of JJK. We got the ending of a couple of different shows that wrapped up. You know, endings are very important, man. Endings will be the last and taste in your mouth, you know, with a show. And whether it ends well or ends poorly, that resonates with you. Full Metal Alchemist has an amazing ending. I don't know how they did it.
I got
the OG anime. Yeah, the OG ending of the anime I thought was awesome.
That's the biggest problem I have with a lot of animes, like to date, is they don't know how to end their show. It's like it's really good, and then the last like 2-3 episodes is like, what the fuck happened?
It's just a big fart.
Yeah, like they didn't expect to get this far, and they're like, well, now I don't know what to do.
Because I mean, a lot of it, like take One Piece, right? I love One Piece. One Piece, the GOAT. Oda, Goda. You know what I mean? But the thing is like Oda originally had a 5-year plan for One Piece. He was going to end it after 5 years. It's 30 years later, and One Piece still going on. So it's just like, it's just like they extended it because it's doing well and it's popular and he can make money and Viz and Shonen Jump can make money and they're doing it. But then it's just like, well, how do you end it? Because you got to keep adding this stuff. And Oda's done an amazing job. There's other animes that haven't. Naruto, and I love Naruto. I love Naruto to death. But it's just like you keep going, you get to the ending. And Sasuke's like, I want to be Hokage. I was like, man, if you don't get the fuck out of my show, I was like, you don't get out of that bullshit. That shit pissed me off.
You in 20 years.
That shit pissed me off. I was like, what the fuck you mean? And Sakura just like, I'm a part of Team 7 too. I was like, man, you don't shut your ass. But anyway, I can't let y'all leave me behind. I'm like, you had no development. I love Sakura, but I was just like, anyway.
I was like, that's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
We did get more than just One Piece. We did also get the return of Bleach last year, but part 2 came out this year, I think, or at least part 3 came out this year. I can't remember if part 2 and 3 came out this year or just 3.
I don't remember either.
But it definitely got the shiny new glossy anime rework done. Everybody got their facelifts. They shining like there's sun 2 inches from their face.
Dude. There is the future. They're all chrome now.
Future.
Yeah, they are incredibly shiny.
It has been really good. They are doing the Attack on Titan thing where it's like the final season, part 4, part 2, and just I don't want to say hurry it up.
Call it
but like, hey man, just. I don't know what to say about it. Like, but you know, like I don't want to see
Shippuden and just keep going.
Yeah, I don't want to see part 2, part 3, part 4, part 4 2. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me again.
But it's been amazing, dude. The 1,000 Year Blood War arc has been so cool. I watched Bleach back in the day, and I love Bleach. After I got done with the Arrancar arc and they did the Fullbringer arc, I kind of tapped out because I was just like burnt out from like watching Bleach. And I like the Arrancar arc and Aizen and the final Gets Show. I felt like that was kind of like, you know, that felt like
that felt like it should have been the ending. Like, because it is the final one, and then it was like after all of the other BS and the Fullbring, and then they're like, yeah, we can just give you your powers back, and it's like, why didn't you just do that before?
Yeah,
I know that there was like a build up to it, right? So like you had to get in touch with his like Shinigami side again somehow, and he had to generate his own powers, and then Dude Bro took the Soul Reaper power from him, and then he got it like the normal way. And it was like,
Yep,
well,
they
why didn't
stabbed
you
him
just
again.
do that the whole time? Then,
It was so dumb. They were like, we had to get clearance. We had to fill out we had to go to the DMV and get you a new spirit sword to stab you with. And I was like, oh, this is so dumb. But whatever. I'm glad that Bleach is back. I love Ichigo. One of my favorite things about like Bleach in general is I love the style of it. I love Ichigo as a character. I know a lot of people, and there's a lot of conversation in the anime community about Ichigo being the worst out of the big three. Whereas like, oh, he has no motivation.
Like it's just not built the same.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I feel like I relate to Ichigo more than any other character in the big three. And I love Naruto. I think Naruto's the best out of them. But I feel like I resonate with Ichigo more. His whole thing is just like, yo, you know, I will protect the people that I care about. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with my family, or I'm going to fuck you up. Other than that, we just chilling. He was like, I'm only here to protect the people I care about, protect the town that I'm in. And when things get rough, things get hairy, you call me and I'll take care of it. And I respect that. Like somebody who's like, I just want to take care of my life and my friends and my family. And you don't mess with that. And he steps up, like he don't have to be like, he's not gonna become the Soul Kage, you know, anything like that. Like he's a real guy.
Yeah, the whole time he's
just
not like gunning for to be the Soul King. He's not trying to be the strongest Soul Reaper. He's just like, hey man, just kind of like leave me alone, you know?
Yeah, he's like, stop coming to the city and fucking with me.
Everybody kind of like, I don't know why we gotta fight. Can't we all just get along?
Yeah. He's literally like a deputy cop, and he's just like, leave my jurisdiction alone, and everything will be hunky dory. And I resonate with that. I'm just like, just leave me the hell alone. And he's like the Incredible Hulk, man. He's just like, I just want peace, but people only want to give him problems. So Ichigo got to pull out the giant sword and go to work. Dude, one of my favorite scenes, and this didn't come out this year, but out of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, one of my favorite things that really like resonate with me as Ichigo as a character is when the first like the first
Quincy dude where he kicked him out the window.
The Quincy dude. Yes, he came into his room and he was like, "Yeah, we coming for you. Just you wait. We gonna get you." Like, Ichigo just fucking
he straight up was like, "Okay," and
yeah,
kicked him out. He's like, "If you don't have anything else to say."
Yeah, dude, it was so good because in most of those situations, when there's a new arc going on, they will kind of like depower the main character. And he will get like jumped and beat up. And it's happened to Ichigo. You know, Naranka arc, Grimjo did put the paws on him. But we've seen Ichigo grow to where he is now. So when that dude came into his room, he just kicked him out. And then he fought him and beat his ass. And the dude was just like, just bring out your Bankai. Bring out your Bankai. I'm going to steal it. And I was like sitting there worried. I was like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? And Ichigo just went into his Bankai for him and just beat his ass. And I was like, that's my goat. That's my goat right there. And it's just, yeah, like, dude, I don't understand how people don't like Ichigo. I think Ichigo is great. But yeah, Bleach is back. I'm happy. It's my favorite anime out of the big three. It's my favorite beverage. I love Bleach so much. It's so good. It's so good. And I'm glad that it's back because back in the day when I was like going to anime conventions and stuff like that when Bleach was going on and, you know, it was originally airing, I heard so many people be like, "Oh, well, the manga ended bad. You know, the last arc. Oh, I feel like they skipped a bunch of stuff." I was
kind of one of those people because I read it, right. So I read all the way to the end, and I was like, it on its own isn't exactly bad. It just felt weird because the whole time, every like arc, they were going like out of their way to make sure that nobody died, right? And then like right at the beginning of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, they just like off like 100 people, and I was like, what what?
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I was like, surely they're just gonna bring these guys back, and then they just like are gone, and I was like, well, so much for that. And I was like, that's kind of like off formula. I mean, I suppose it kind of makes sense, but like at the same time, that's not how this went before.
But yeah, that was my whole thing, is like I just would hear people say like, oh, it's not good. I mean, you know, like making a manga in Shonen Jump is difficult. It's very taxing. It's very stressful. You spend so much of your time working on it. And apparently Kubo was burnt out. And he was just like, I just got to get this done.
Kill everybody.
You know, yeah. You're like, I can't write no more manga if everybody's dead. So I was like, I get it. And now it feels like he's like, after a decade, and he's able to come back and finish Bleach the way that he wanted to, with an amazing anime. The animation is incredible. It's so much fun having to come back. I remember the first piece of media that I saw for the 1,000-Year Blood War arc was the new Ichigo theme. And that got me so hyped. I was already in after that. I was just like hearing the Redux version of it with like the new like in like the beat behind it and everything like that. I was like, I'm in. I just put the credit card down. Like, just
give me my money. Or take my money.
I take my money. But yeah, I'm so glad to have Bleach back. But another anime that I guess we can talk about is another continuation. I mentioned it a little bit, but 100% One Piece. One Piece has been on top of its game this year.
I have not been watching One Piece, but actually, I even stopped reading it. The chapters got so tedious that I was like, I cannot get the motivation up to read this.
There's a lot packed in One Piece
every
chapters.
chapter, and I was like, I was sticking with it for a while because I was like, they're gonna get off Egghead, and they just didn't let up. I was like, you cannot give me the dude in the corner and then a giant panel with a bubble full of text in it 9 times a page. Like, I would just read the light novel. I need pictures.
But the anime has been on a different level recently. I believe it was earlier this year. I caught up to One Piece and I started reading Wano or watching Wano as it was coming out to get hyped up for the episodes, right?
And they put themselves on hiatus because their crazy ass animation wasn't good enough.
That's crazy to me. Like,
next year is apparently going to be fire.
Yeah, I'm so excited for next year. Because the thing is, with the end of Wano happening in the anime, and everybody was hyped up for it, it's like the Super Bowl. It was Sanji versus Queen,
Zoro versus King,
and then Luffy versus Kaido, and the Gear 5th. Every single week, we would sit in the Discord and watch the episodes together. Because when I saw the Sanji fight, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Then you got to the Zoro fight with King, and I was like, they are going insane. And then when you got the Luffy moment where he went Gear 5th, and that was incredible. And the thing is with the animation, because like I've always loved One Piece, but I'm not going to lie, varying arc to arc, the animation is not that great sometimes. The pacing in One Piece is always notoriously terrible. You get the intro song, you get the guy be like, oh, Roger, put all the shit in one place or whatever, fuck. And then that's like 8 minutes of the fucking episode. And then there's like recap for like 3 minutes. I'm just like, that's half the episode. It's just bullshit. But like, they really stepped it up this year, man. Like, big shout out, big kudos to the animation team and everybody at Toei. One Piece has been on another level, man. Like, seeing the love and care from the animators, because I follow a lot of animators on Twitter. So they'll be talking about, like, after the episode comes out, they'll be talking about their shots and what they did behind the scenes, and they'll show like some of their preliminary animations or storyboard stuff. And one of the best things that happened from like this new generation, like animators on One Piece and all the cool new animation, is all the little like secret hidden details that you will see. One thing that I feel like is on the tip of everybody's tongue.
Frames is fucking awesome. I love that shit.
Dude, seeing them,
this is also not anime, but Arcane did that too. There is apparently impact frames in different like openings that change based on what happened in the previous episode. And then there is also one instance that I know of where one of the impact frames is like revealing their true colors right before disaster strikes. No spoilers. But
no spoilers.
I love that's so cool. Like, I never see it because I don't pay that close of attention. But when somebody else sees it and then they rewind it and they show it off on TikTok and like whatever.
TikTok, yeah.
It's so
it's always
cool.
TikTok. It's so sick because it was like you see like when Luffy's about to go Gear 5th, the impact frames go through every gear. So it's like base Luffy, Gear 2nd, Gear 3rd, Gear 4th, all the way up into Gear 5th. You know, you got the Zoro impact frames where it's like the dragon will come out while he's fighting King. Like, it's so cool to have these little Easter eggs to be able to go back and kind of like sit back and enjoy and kind of like, you know, like little hidden secrets throughout the episode. One of my favorite ones was when Law and Kid were fighting Big Mom and they beat Big Mom in the impact frame. The impact frame comes in and you see the fire spells out smoking on that Big Mom pack. And they just beat her.
I didn't know that one.
And I was just like, there's no way they put that in there. And the impact frame is in there. You can read it out and it's all in the flames. I was like, that's so much fun. Like, you can really tell that current One Piece is made by people who love this shit. And you can see it. You can see it in attention to detail. Like, one of the big episodes I really enjoyed that's a more recent episode was the Akainu and Aokiji, Iceman, and Garp's whole backstory. Because Iceman, I think it's Aokiji. Ao is blue, right? what the hell is? Anyway, Akainu was the red one. Okay, fine. Sorry, I'm trying to.
Yeah,
Dude, I
you got
hate their
me.
fucking names.
I don't remember. Kuzan.
Anyway, Ice
No,
Boy.
Kuzan's the light guy.
Kuzan is Iceman as well. Light guy's Borsellino, aka fucking whatever. But anyway,
Light guy, ice guy.
Yes, ice guy with messed up leg. Like his whole thing with Garp. I don't know. I ain't got no sleep. Leave me alone. But anyway, Iceman, his whole backstory with Garp, because Garp was his mentor essentially, right? And I can, after the whole fallout with him fighting and Aokiji having that big fight on what was the island? It wasn't Punk Hazard, whatever island they fought on where they messed up the whole environment. But they had the whole fight who was going to take over as the new fleet admiral after Sengoku stepped down, after Marineford, after Whitebeard died. So they had the whole big fight where they pretty much was like, I want my justice win. I want my justice win. And he ends up leaving the Marines. So Garp has to fight him to get back Kobe. And there's so much love and attention and detail that's in the episode. So much good character acting where you can really see the weight of all their decisions that came out. Because Garp is his whole thing is I'm going to change the Marines from the inside, right? And I'm putting my faith on the people that I'm bringing up after me because he's like, I'm old, I'm done, my generation messed everything up. So he's like, I'm really putting the weight of it on you guys. And then he sees his protege leave and go with Blackbeard, and he's just like, what the fuck? And then his grandchildren also fucking all up because Luffy's the #1 pirate, his son's the most wanted man in the Revolutionary Army. So he's just like, why did everything I do turn out wrong?
Damn it.
Yeah, and so it's just
he's like, we were so close. I made them all powerful, but
yeah, but they all
on the
not
wrong
with
side.
So it's just so Garp is just he has you have all the weight of his decisions, his life choices, while he's fighting his old protege to save his new one in Kobe. And that episode was so awesome because there's so many little moments where after they finish the fight, you see Kuzan and he's looking at Garp and he has ice on his face, but you could tell that he froze his tears so nobody saw it for the Blackbeard pirates because all the ice is running down from his eyes when he had to freeze it. There's so many good moments. One Piece has been amazing this year. I know they're on hiatus. They're reanimating the Fishman Island arc, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited for when they come back with the current stuff because the manga has been really interesting. The manga has been great. Yes, it is packed with a lot of crazy stuff, but Egghead Island was amazing. I think they did the Kuma backstory before they stopped for the hiatus. That was so good. Oh my god, Kuma's one of my favorite characters. This thing has been going on for 30 years.
Backstory with Bonnie. I don't understand why everybody was so mad about Bonnie copying Goofy. I was like,
I thought that was awesome, dude.
I thought it was cool, and I didn't understand how it worked. And then because everybody got so mad about it, some people started explaining it, and I was like, yo, that makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was cool. People were just because people are meatheads, right? People are meatheads and they're just oh, Luffy got up to this power level and he was able to get up here. Why is Bonnie able to get up to his power? And it's no, that's not how it works.
That's not exactly what happened.
Yeah, because she didn't do anything. She did it as a sign of her father's wishes coming true and her making his dream come true. And that's important for her story with her dad. You know what I mean? It held weight that way. She wasn't a god tier powerful character. I think she did one punch and that was it. But it was this weight of everything, all the pain and suffering Kuma went through, being pretty much him sowing the seeds and tilling the garden. That was his daughter, and her blossoming into the sun god that he was praying for to save him. I thought that was fucking beautiful. I think people just fucking dumb. But I thought the Bonnie stuff was amazing. Egghead was peak. Oh my god. And I really, really enjoying it. I can't wait for One Piece to come back. Let them build up more in the manga so that they can do better pacing for each individual episode because doing one chapter per episode is crazy. It's excruciating how much time they waste for stuff. Let them build up a catalog of chapters so that they can adapt things well. That's what I want. So I hope this break, they're able to rest, they're able to relax, come back rejuvenated, give us some amazing peak animation. Because it's been really, really good, man.
Agreed. So what do you think for this whole year, for whatever you've seen, what do you think is your top 3, top 5 that you've that for
Number
you,
one.
not make sure it's for you, not subjectively.
Yeah.
Don't count free reign either because that's that's already it's gonna be at the top of everybody's.
All right,
we just went over all that. We all know. Everybody here knows that we all love free reign already.
We talked about it. I love me some Fearing. Everybody should love it. Everybody should enjoy it. It is fantastic. But Fearing, honorable mention, is so good. But my top three should be okay. So my top three is going to be a little weird. Number one, Solo Leveling. I thought Solo Leveling was amazing. Again, we had a lot of people in the community talking about Solo Leveling when it got announced for, you know, it getting an anime adaptation. And I was excited, but I was cautiously optimistic. Because I was like, I know people said it was peak. I've heard good things about Solo Leveling for years.
Yeah,
but
and
God High School and Tower of God
breaking into the manhwa spheres. So it was kind of almost uncharted territory. So it was hit or miss. Like it was either going to be really good, representative
or the worst thing ever,
Power of God season 1, or it was going to be really bad, representative of God of High School.
God of High School. So I was very pleasantly surprised when I sat down and I watched the first episode of Solo Leveling, and I was hooked. Every episode after that, I would watch it in Discord together with the homie Ajin Ra, and we would just watch every episode. And then when the episode ended, and that like it was kind of like that for Kaiju number 8 as well. But whenever the ending started to play, I was like, "There's no way this episode is already over." Like I was fiending for more. Whenever episode ended in Solo Leveling or Kaiju number 8, I was like, I just want more. And Solo Leveling was amazing. It was so good that when I finished the first season, I read the entirety of the manhwa to get excited for the second season. I was like, I just need more. This is so cool. And it's also great because if you go from the anime to the manhwa is fully colored. It looks amazing. Like it looks like an anime, just still frames. Like it's such an easy read to hop into it. And I'm so excited for second season. The second season is coming out soon, man. I saw that trailer recently. I'm so excited. But yeah, 100% Solo Leveling. Kaiju number 8. It doesn't happen a lot for me because I don't really keep up with a lot of stuff just because I'm a busy boy and I'm exhausted. But I was reading Kaiju number 8 before the anime got announced. And so it's always fun when you're reading. Yeah,
I know,
you
I
read the
saw
manga.
it, I was like, oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So I was like already hyped up for it. And it came out and it was sick. And I got to like be somebody like waving the flag of like, yo, you need to watch this. You need to watch this. You need to get hyped, dude. It's going to be so good. Trust me. And then getting to talk to everybody about it as episodes are coming out and just everybody getting hype for, you know, Kafka to be able to do stuff and become Kaiju number 8. One of my favorite things about Kaiju number 8 is that they get on with it. Like normally an animator is always like, oh, you know, they're gonna keep it a secret. They go and like they don't dilly dally with that stuff, man. You get that resolution at the end of the first season and it feels so good, and then you can move on to new territory rather than retreading the old steps of like any other like secret identity, you know, shonen-ish anime or whatever. You know what I mean? I think Kaiju number 8 is fantastic. I really enjoy it. I'm very excited for next season. I'm up to date with the manga, and I'm just constantly like I'm just waiting every week for it. And then outside of Kaiju number 8 and Solo Leveling, 1,000%, it is Don Da Don. Don Da Don came out of nowhere.
I got hyped for it before they even like aired the first episode. Like just the trailers were enough to get me like super excited for it. And I ended up reading the manga like all 170 chapters in like 2 days. It was crazy. Dude, it was a wild ride. Good. And now I gotta slow down because they got only released it once a week. Now it sucked.
Yeah.
And then they went on a hiatus, and I was going through withdrawals.
Yeah, that sucked. But I did read the most recent chapter, and I'm happy. So, like, Don Da Don first got announced as you know the anime was coming out. And the only thing I heard about Don Da Don previously was the one panel of Ken or Okarun at the fucking urinal. And he's like, my ball's gone. That's all everybody talk about when it first came out, manga wise. They're just like, the dude loses his balls, and I was just like, what? And I just never read it. Yeah, that was the first thing I heard about Don Da Don was that the main character loses his balls. I was like, what the hell are y'all talking about? And I just never fucking read it. And I was just like, all right. And then the thing that got me in was Don Da Don got leaked from Netflix. So the opening got leaked.
Definitely the opening did help it because we had already gone through the Mashal opening. That was also this season, I believe. Or yeah, that was this season or this year.
Second season, I know for sure was this year because I watched it earlier. Second season was this year. I'm pretty sure that was the new Creepy Nuts one, and then we all found out that Creepy Nuts was doing this other one, and they were like, "Wait a minute, this is amazing." I couldn't stop listening to the Don Da Don theme because at first it was like Don Da Don. I
accidentally added it to my Spotify playlist twice, and I accidentally never removed the second one. So it plays a little bit more than the rest of everything else.
Dude, it's so good. So I was very hyped, and I was just like, dude, I've heard good things. The opening is so good. I kept thinking about it, so I started to read the entirety of the manga, and I read that first chapter. And again, we talked about it on the podcast before, so I'm not gonna go through the whole rigmarole of realistic Obama and everything, but I read it and I was enamored. I was just like locked in because it's so insane. It's so insane, but then it's rooted and grounded in these relationships between these characters. And every time I think that the show or the manga is going to zig, they zag, and it's fantastic. I am very happy.
Have you gotten? Because I know that you're behind on watching DNAnime. How
Literally.
far?
So I know obviously what happens all this season because you can't go anywhere without getting.
I just want to make a comment on the last episode, the like final of the season.
Yeah,
I can't fucking believe that they ended it in that spot.
It's the wall, right?
Yes,
in the house.
But it is also Momo in the bath.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, they were playing it, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to defend Don. I
totally forgot about that.
I was like, I'm gonna have to defend Don again. I was like, I'm thinking about the spooky, crazy, the crazy wall and shit, and the weird family. And then they were like panning back and forth to Momo and the Gators.
I forgot Momo left.
Yeah, and like that was so like off to the side compared to what else was happening that I didn't even remember it. And then when they were going through it, I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to go through the defensive episode 1 again. Shit.
Yeah, because I kept telling people, I was like, the first episode was the worst thing that happened.
And I kept saying it will never happen again. And it's like they straight up said it too. They straight up say it. They say word for word, do you know what a gator is? And then when they explain it, they're like, it is old men who go in and look for young women in a bath. And I was like, no, I don't remember this.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. But
skip that. I can't skip the last episode.
Don't skip the episode.
Skip it. Weather the storm. All right, weather the storm.
Yeah.
It's still good. It's still good. I'm not gonna lie and say it'll never happen again because now I don't remember.
I don't remember either. DNAnime's a blur, man. Shit be having it all the damn time.
But it's so good. I'm so mad they ended it in that spot, though. I was like, I can't believe they finished right here.
Yeah, because what I saw was them like Okarun and Gigi looking in the hole, and I was just like, oh, okay, they ended it there. And then I saw a clip of somebody being like, "This bathroom scene," and everybody like freaking about it on Twitter, and I was like,
"Hot Springs."
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because it's like. You're so focused on what's going on. Like they poised the whole thing around Gigi's story. So you're focusing on Gigi, and then they're like, hey, Momo is also in trouble elsewhere. And you're like, but Gigi's thing.
She's just chilling, drinking milk and having a bath. And then I'm just like, oh yeah, wait, I forgot about that whole thing. But if I remember correctly, it does not go anywhere.
It doesn't go as bad as episode 1, but it doesn't help that they straight up were like, by the way, we're predators. They were like, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah.
Like, I know he's just kind of writing bullshit at random, but it's like, how does that keep coming up?
Yeah. But DNAnime was like such a treat this year. I didn't know what to expect getting into it. When I started reading it, again, it was at breakneck speed. It was insanity. But God, I fell in love with all the characters. And every time they introduce somebody new, again, we'll just keep it to the anime. But Okarun and Momo's relationship, and they're becoming friends and getting to learn about each other. And they're really, really cute interactions and the people around them. Because, like some of the, they're side characters that really do, that just shine. Like Momo's friends. Like our 2 friends that are in school that are just constantly rooting for her and Okarun. I love them so much, dude. And I thought I was going to hate them. Like I said. I don't think they're gonna zag. I was like, oh, they started it where they were like giving her shit about him, and then they were just like, oh, you hanging out with this dorky guy or whatever, no, you got boyfriend girlfriend teasing him. But
then they were like, told her how it is. It's like it's fine. Like you can. Like we're just picking on you. It's cool.
Yeah. And then she got all defensive, and they were like, oh, wasn't that too mean? Like we were just fucking with you, but like if you want to be with him,
go be with him. Go have fun. Bye.
Yeah. And I'm just like. Why is everybody in the show like they do all the typical shit, but then they're so mature about it? You know what I mean? Like they're high school students and they're young and they're stupid, but then they like have this maturity that you don't normally see in shonen anime, especially one that's insane as DNAnime. And that's what I love about it, man. All the characters are great, from Arya to Momo to Okarun to Gigi. They're fantastic. I can't wait for season 2.
Mantis shrimp dude.
Mantis shrimp dude and his mantis shrimp kid. Oh, dude, I'm so excited for the next season of DNAnime. once we get
Which-
past the bullshit that they're doing.
Announced July, the next season of Don to Don coming out July. So we only got
see Superman and Don to Don.
So we
July.
only got one season. I think that we have to wait to weather the storm, then we'll be able to watch it again. We'll be actually 2 seasons. Oh, I made myself sad a little bit.
I know, but those would be my 3. Solo Leveling was a huge surprise, and it was fucking amazing. I thought Solo Leveling was so sick. Don to Don was such a treat. It was immaculate. It was amazing. It was incredible. And then, you know, it's like this year had so many like bangers. Like, again, we could talk about the bad, we could talk about the old songs, we could talk about the Blue Lock season 2s, but it's like, why even focus on that stuff, man? Focus on the good. So
I feel like Blue Lock is like the
exception
exception where it's like it's so bad that you have to look at it.
That is good.
Like you have to talk about it because it's like, yo,
it's the car crash season.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're like, how does this happen? So like, we because there was so much outrage, there was like a minor insight to it that one of the animators was like, look, man, it wasn't me. You have to believe me. It's not my fault. So like it was a nice little tidbit to see like how that could go wrong like that. That it was like the animators did what they could, and then it wasn't them that ended up releasing kind of hogwash.
Yeah,
it was a little. It's a shame because
away.
I did like the first season a lot, and I was really excited for the second season because I played soccer for 7 years. So I was really excited to watch, more soccer, but unfortunately, because of the detriment in the motion picture graphics, did not make my top 3. Shocker, right? I would have to go with, for mine, I'd probably also put Don to Don in my top 3, and I'll go Jobless Reincarnation, probably the newest season, because that one was fucking crazy. Dude is absolutely insane. The animation is always glorious. They made Rudy feel more like ingrained in the world with every episode, and then without spoiling it, the ending made it so that he finally saw himself as like a resident of the world instead of a visitor, and that really kind of like cemented how he was thinking before, because you kind of think that he already understands that he is like a resident of this world. But it's not until the end of the season that you're like, oh, I got it. Now you're like, you were not actually fully invested in this world until now.
Yeah.
Now you're just like, he was kind of treating it like a game. Now it's real. So they did a good job of like progressing his character and some of the other characters throughout the whole time. That I thought the fucking elf chick, I thought that her curse was fake. I was like, that's so dumb. Like, why would you even say that? Like, that's such a stupid excuse to try to sleep around. Come to find out it's real. So I was like,
the elf that was traveling with
that she's like overly, she has to like sleep with people ever so often. Apparently that's real. Like they have to give her like a whole magical device to stop her and everything. Yeah, I was like, oh wow, okay.
Okay, well, I did not know that.
Yeah, I was like, either she is omega horny or it's real. I mean, it could still be like omega horny, but it felt like it was real now. Like before, it sounded like an excuse. Now it seems like it's real. So that's cool. But obviously, if you've been around the channel, my third one, Don Machi.
Yeah.
Season 5, we've only gotten to episode 6, but holy fuck. It is crazy. You go through season 1, really good. Season 2 kind of dipped down a little bit. Season 3, come back up. Season 4, absolutely insane. Season 4, part 2, fucking wild. Season 5, somehow following the Juggernaut, and it is still amazing. It is so
glad to hear
fucking good. It is. They haven't even set foot in the dungeon yet. Not a single time. They haven't even referenced going to the dungeon yet. It started off as like goofy, but it has been like such a twist all over the place. When I got to like episode 3, I had to pause it and was like, this person is this guy, but this guy is this person. And I was like, okay, but why are you here? And then at episode 4, and then it was like the first person was like a different person than I thought. And so it was like everybody was mixing it up, but at the same time, I'm still I'm like following it the the confusion is more intriguing than frustrating. And I don't know how they did it to make it, because they twisted so many things, but every time it's like, wow, that's insane. The next thing happens and you're like, that is also insane. And then halfway through the season, so I'm gonna spoiler alert a little bit. If you haven't gotten to episode 6, skip forward, I don't know, 5 minutes. And
I'll put my hand up and I'll put it down.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, just kind of fast forward. Episode 6, Freya charms the entire city all at the same time without using divinity. So every single person forgot that Belle was a part of Hestia's family.
Oh.
So he is the only person that knows. Even amongst the
gods?
Even the gods, even amongst the Freya's familia, they don't know. They are under the assumption that he has been there the whole time. And all of the gods have forgotten except for Hestia, who apparently has the strongest divinity is like the only one to channel enough divinity to resist the charm. And Freya
she rolled a natural 20.
She literally rolled a natural 20 on this fucking level 9 spell. Like, it is absolutely wild. Every single person in the city is forgotten, and she went to extraordinary lengths to pull it off. She straight up was like, either you let me have Belle or I kill everybody. And there was no ifs, ands, ors, or buts about it. And then just to prove it, she beat the fuck out of everybody from the Familia and then threw their weapons at Hestia's feet and was like, try me.
Holy shit. Okay, I gotta catch up.
That's halfway through the series. That doesn't mention anything that happened before that. That was just episode 6. It's so fucking crazy. All right, hand down.
Hand down.
I gotta
catch up. I haven't
wild.
started. There's still so many good anime that I haven't even started yet. I haven't started season 3 of ReZero yet. I haven't started season 5 of DanMachi yet. Like, this year still got bangers I gotta catch up on.
Has there been any underrated ones? Has there been any underrated ones that you either have seen or have been anticipating?
Nothing really underrated. Like, I feel like everything that was hyped up was good for the most part. Like, I really enjoyed Don the Don. I really enjoyed, DanMachi. I watched all of DanMachi this year, so that was a huge treat because I didn't, before we started the podcast, I never watched it. The only thing I knew about
DanMachi, it was like pulling teeth to get you to watch it. I'm like, listen, the title fucking lies to you, man. Title lies.
Like, I'll watch whatever. And so I watched the first episode, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? The first thing he doing is get his butt whooped. He's like, it's a pretty girl in a dungeon. I was like, what is this motherfucker talking about? Then I got to the Lily part where she broke down and became a part of, like, the family and everything like that. She had the big moment where, like, you fucking idiot, I'm gonna rob you and kill you. And I fell in love. Like, I fell in love with her character. I fell in love with DanMachi, and I was in from there on. I mean, I was enjoying it beforehand, but before that, like, the only thing I knew about DanMachi
went from
was
like
literally
a
the
6.5 to like a 9.
10. Yeah, it was so good, dude. Because, like, all I knew was, like, Belle, and it's funny because the only thing I knew about DanMachi was from the first episode, which was him and Hestia, like, getting ready for the day, and they were brushing teeth together.
Yeah, because there's like a TikTok trend for a little bit.
Yeah, so that's all I knew about DanMachi was that, and I thought it was just going to be like this harem pervy show with the girl with the fucking titty string, but it's not that at all, which is crazy. But that's all I know. It's like how people treat Stellar Blade. It's like, you think Stellar Blade is just like, look at a butthole, look at the titties, and I'm just like, there's more to the game than just the stuff that people talk about on Twitter.
There's more to the plot than plot.
Is good. Yeah, but yeah, DanMachi is really good. I'm glad that the 5th season is still going strong because I was worried that it was going to be another lull, because I'm like, how do you really, like, top the peak that was the Juggernaut and everything in the dungeon?
You know what's crazy? Like, episode 8 is like titled War Game, and if it's like the War Game is the same as season 2, and season 2 was like, well, it was good. It was definitely like, it was kind of just like boring.
It wasn't that consequential.
I can't wait to find out what this War Game is about, because as of now, I don't know who belongs where right now. But it's crazy, but there has been more to it than, we've been talking about DanMachi since, the whole year, because I love DanMachi so much. But some underrated ones that if you haven't seen them this year, if you are looking for something to watch, I have 4 that you should definitely check out. 4 definitely check out. one of them, actually, all four of them caught me off guard. One of them was recommended to me by our resident Nova. And
The Notorious Talker.
Notorious Talker. You guys know it. You guys love it. You guys have heard about it. Notorious Talker, definitely one of them. You guys have heard us talk about it all the time. Notorious Talker it's just fun. It's just fun to watch. These are all kind of just like, you sit back and vibe kind of deal. They're not like spectacular in any unique way or anything. They just feel good. They just feel good to watch. So there's Notorious Talker is one of them. One that I'm sure everybody saw and then probably had the same thought that I had when I saw it was, what the fuck? I was reincarnated as the seventh prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. Had to look that one up. It is fun to watch. It is fucking super thick thigh child.
Okay, I was about to say that. I was like, is that the child with the booty shorts?
Yeah, the one with like the overwhelmingly like wide hips for no particular reason. It's fun. I don't know what it is. It's literally just OP main protagonist, but it's fun. Like he just does what the title says. Like he literally is like, now you can die, it's fine. I'm gonna be practicing magic, and then like when he uses the magic, he's like, okay, well, I can. He does crazy shit to like learn his magic. Like he gets stabbed a couple times, and he's like, yes, I understand it now.
He's like the shooter. I understand it now.
But like, it's a fun watch. The design is a little weird, and then the maid does hit the weird marker where it's like, fuck. But it's not so bad that you can't just like kind of brush it off. She makes a lot of weird comments in passing, but it's all right, I guess. And would prefer them not to be there, but it's not the end of the world. Another one that was really good was, this one has no weird moments that I can think of. A reincarnated aristocrat. I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. Season 2. The first one caught me out. The first season caught me off guard, and it was very good. It doesn't have a lot of combat, but it's very interesting in the way that they show the characters' like origins, their growth, their relation to each other, and then their relation to their current, essentially, lord. And they, in the second season, they are at war. So they're going through all of the wars, and I like all the characters. They're all very interesting. The main guy is literally just a child. I'm pretty sure that he was reincarnated. Like it says, reincarnated as an aristocrat, but like he acts like a kid. Like he's just a kid, and he's clearly never seen war before. This is his first war. In the first season, they show him why he had never been to war before. So that one was really good. And then what was the last one? So I'm gonna say The Unwanted Undead Adventurer was really good. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. But that one, and then also this one was a little more known, but still I think it flew under the radar more than it should have. Windbreaker came out this year.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about Windbreaker. I love Windbreaker.
Dude, was so
sick.
Like if you just want to see people fucking throwing hands, Windbreaker, dude. Windbreaker, that is all it is people just throwing hands, and
so sick.
That's it.
And
like
brotherly love.
Like the characters are interesting. They're deep enough for what the show is. They're all pretty likable. Even the like other dude who is like a little off his rocker, even he ends up being pretty likable. But the fight scenes are really freaking good. They got freaking Chinese Bruce Lee in there or something. Whatever his name is, Suo. Yeah. Where he just like, that is like the most disrespectful fight ever, and I loved it. He just let that guy beat himself up, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is a brood."
That was, dude, I totally thank you. Windbreaker was awesome. I love Windbreaker. It was so cool because I love martial arts. Like I grew up watching like martial arts films, whether it's Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, any like one that you can pretty much get your hands on, I would watch. Like so fucking sick, dude. And Windbreaker was also, it was like I was like, okay, I think this is gonna be good. I think this is gonna be fun. But I was like, I didn't hear anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. I don't even know there's a manga. But it was animated so well. The fights were so cool. The characters looked so cool.
The opening was like pretty good. So I was like, yeah, okay. Now the thumbnail for it, if you guys remember from last year, where I said a lot of my choices are based on the little poster that comes with it on Anime Planet. It's like fine, like it's good. Kind of kind of suggest that there's going to be a lot of competition. So I was like, okay, cool. I watched one clip of it and I was like, great, it's animated well. I will watch it. And so
I didn't think I was going to love
like
it as
4
much as I
episodes
did.
in or something. I'm like, yo, this is fire, dude. I was like,
so
they got
sick.
every episode. They nailed it.
It's so sick. And the premise is so dumb. You just own Fight Island, and they got a school where you fight, and there's a bunch of different gangs, and you fight.
I love
and
how
it's,
the entire
I'm
society of that
I'm
town
in.
is like dictated by the middle schoolers fighting.
It's insane, but I don't care. Give it to me. I'm in. I'm locked in, dude. I know anime. I'm locked in. Windbreakers was a huge surprise, like underrated, like treat. And you want to know? I thought of someone while we were sitting here talking. You know what was another underrated treat that came out of nowhere?
I'm gonna say this one because I feel like I'm either right or this one needs to be brought up. Wistoria.
I was just about to say it.
I know. I
That
saw
came out
it
of
underneath
nowhere.
Windbreakers, and I was like, "Oh fuck! I almost missed it."
Yeah, Wistoria came out of nowhere, and I was just like, I think
I was
Nova
so
said,
close
like,
to not watching it because the dude's
Yep.
like massive antenna.
Cow legs,
I was
yeah.
like, I was like, all right, this is like some fucking shit, Astro Boy 1980s bullshit. And I was like, I'm not gonna watch this.
And Nova said it was made by the guy who made Don Maji.
And then
you were
I
locked in your
watched it like
seat.
2 episodes in. I was like, wait a minute, this feels just like Danmachi, but the character is a little different, and he was a little bit more real,
Self-assured.
Yeah, he was
and
more
yeah.
self-assured. Like he wasn't like a just straight up hero type person. And I was like, that is kind of cool that they have essentially Danmachi if Belle wasn't there. So yeah, instead of Belle, they put in Asta without the screaming,
without the annoying ass, screaming.
So yeah, it was really good. It was animated so fucking good.
Oh, it looks
and
so good,
the
dude. characters,
all of them, I thought every time they brought up a new character, I was like, this guy gonna suck. And then he ends up being a dick, and then they end up being cool. And I was like, wait, there's nobody to hate. It came out of nowhere. I almost missed it. It was solely thanks to our resident Nova that was like, hey man, you're gonna want to watch this one. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll watch it. Just because you said so. And just to give the poor RIP to our resident Nova's favorite letdown.
I was gonna bring it an honorable mention.
Honorable mention to his favorite letdown, the number 1 letdown of the season, Remonster. Number 1 letdown of the season, where it was poised to be fucking great, and then they just fucked up every episode, and they just skipped everything, and none of it made any sense. Poor Nova,
so bad,
he was talking about how it was like his favorite manga. He was so excited for it, just for it to eat shit. I can't imagine. He was equating it to slime, and I was like, that's a claim. Like, that is a bold claim to equate it to slime right there. And he was like, it's just the dark fantasy version, and I was like, if you say so. And then I watched it, and I was like, I don't know where that was, but it was not in this show.
Nah.
But
I can see like what he meant.
That one was a struggle to get through. Osan I watched every week, and I was like, all right, it's fine. Every week.
But Osan's animation was fine. The animation in fucking Remastered.
But then Remastered came along, and it was one of the ones that like smacked right into, this makes me not even want to continue watching anime right now. Like, I'll watch it and be like, all right, I guess I'm done with that one. No more.
Yeah. I just dropped it. I was like, this shit, like, it's going no fucking where. Slow.
And you know what? I was like, I have to stick with it. I just have to see where they like pick it back up. Like, if they were to save it, where is it going to be? And then like one episode, they're just like, by the way, 2 people are pregnant, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And you're like, when did that happen?
Off screen.
You talk about people getting off screen. This ain't what they meant. But,
yeah, no, that was the honorable mention. But for you guys at home, what were your top anime of the year? Did it mesh with ours? Did you guys have some of the ones that we missed this year? There's so many anime to talk about this year. But we just wanted to focus on the biggins. But let us know what your anime of the year were. You can give us just your top 3 like we did. And you can let us know in the comments down below. You can also hit that subscribe button, the notification bell on YouTube, and give us a thumbs up. It helps us out immensely. If you want to help support your boys, you can go and do this. This will be the last podcast of the year. Again, we started this podcast in the later half of 2024. It's been a metric ton of fun, and I think people have been really enjoying it. I've been enjoying doing it. I think Vix is enjoying it as well. So hopefully you guys are having fun listening and enjoying the ride with us. 2025 is going to be a big year where I'm excited to really push in and see what else we could do on the podcast and just continue talking and having this open conversation about something that I'm passionate about with you guys at home. So let us know how we did this year. Let us know how your 2024 went, whether it's anime related or anything that you guys are working on. You just let us know in the comments below. We can start a little dialogue. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys having a wonderful holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Enjoy yourselves and get ready. Because again, it may be the end of 2024, but we'll be back with more next year. Vix, you got anything to say to the people as we wrap up the end of the year podcast?
Thanks everybody for sticking around with us. Like Crow said, it's been a lot of fun. We had a really solid run going. We had that 1 week where I was taken out by a hurricane and I came back from the
gods
dead.
Were trying to beat
Appreciate
us
everybody who came on back and stuck with us. It's still been a lot of fun. Next year we'll get to take a look at all the progression that has happened for anime and from this year. We have a lot of season 2s coming out next year, so perhaps next week we can talk about the 2025 new season and see what we can dredge up. And like he said, if you have your top 3 of 2024, put it in the comments below. I want to know what your top 3 biggest letdowns were. So put your top 5 or top 3 for Crow, your worst 3 for me. I want to see what your letdowns are. But until next year, see everybody later.
Johnny.